𝘼𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼 everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Mortal Rolls. And yeah, we're so pumped because I don't know if you've been following, but today is episode 10. You see, we started out with episode 1, and then we went to episode 8. Last week was episode 9, or episode 9 for our German friends. Today is episode 10. Today is the giveaway. Today we're going to reveal who wins the dice. I don't know if you've been looking at the Instagram, but they look gorgeous. And so we're super excited to reveal that. That's going to be coming soon after the introductions. And really, I just want to say thank you again for joining us for episode 10. Today's going to be a very special one. We said it was going to be special. Today will be special. So, who are we? We're just a couple guys and gals who enjoy role-playing. We like rolling some dice. We like learning some new game system rules. We like using the power of imagination. And of course, we love laughing while doing it. And now, of course, I am 𝘼𝙤𝙤. I'm the emperor of this game. And I'm going to now introduce those with me and how to pick. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with the beard. I've been doing the analytics, and I've noticed that we have not ever started with the beard. So again, special episode 10. This is just one of the surprises. So we'll start with the beard, and then we're going to go to pink hair. Then we're going to go to two-tone, and then we're going to end with white hair. But here's the twist. Here's the twist. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
I want you guys, if you think about your character,
Thinking.
What would be their catchphrase?
Oh.
So when you introduce yourself and then do like, I don't know, you can even look away from the camera, then look at the camera and say your catchphrase. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Over to you.
Okay. I'm the Beard, aka Keegs. I play Oren, the fun-loving and love-loving reducted class. You'll find out eventually what class I am, but I bet you can't guess it right. And Oren's catchphrase would probably just be, hi there.
Nice.
Nice and simple.
Nice. You see that on t-shirts.
Hi there, I'm Oren.
Hi there.
Hey there, I'm Oren.
Moving to pink hair. Let's see if you can top that. That's a high bar.
Probably not. I'm not the one with the performance proficiency here. Take that as you will. And hi everyone, I'm Reed. I play Eve. Eve's catchphrase. See, I think something that she says a lot is like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
I think she says
Yep.
this.
She does. Just say that. Sweet. That's nice. I can see that on t-shirts. Like this. Of course. Yes, of course. I love that.
It's usually like a, yes, of course this would happen.
Yeah.
Yes, of course this situation would be happening to me right now.
Yes, of course. I'm dead. I have the death condition. That's coming up. We're going to go to two-tone.
That's me. I am tone times 2. I guess I am the DM now.
Yep, you supersede me. Take it away.
I am the captain now. I'm Sarah. I play Morwen, and I guess her catchphrase is, I am so sorry. Or, I'll sorry for a tickle.
That's good. 2. You see, perfect. Actually matches with a two-tone hair. 2 catchphrases. I love that.
I really couldn't decide, so
You get a hero point for that one.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't decide.
That's a hero point right there. You can
Really?
reward yourself with. Oh yeah, that was pretty phenomenal. Well, let's see now. We end with white hair. Take it away.
What's up? It's your girl White Hair, aka Keisu. We have to come up with something other than white hair. It's great, but like
It's definitely not the beard.
there's something better that I feel like. Anyway.
Oh yeah, okay. Like
white skin. No.
Black eyes. Black.
Okay, nope, we'll stick with white hair, never mind. Nope.
Let's leave it to the chat. Chat, figure it out. What are we going to call her?
Chin drizzle. Nope.
No, chin drizzle. No. Anyways, they're taking over my character introduction. That was the word I was looking for. I'm Keisu. I play Sabine, which, you know, you can tell. Little box. Sabine's catchphrase. Let me see. Definitely would be up there with perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine.
That is
fine. It's perfectly fine catchphrase. Another one would probably be I wonder what his blood tastes like.
Also,
so good. I rewarded Morwin already, so.
Oh, I wasn't saying it to get rewarded. It's literally just I'm indecisive. Hello, I'm a Libra. I'm very indecisive. So you get 2 catchphrases because I don't know which one I like more.
No,
Neil Sketches put forward albino queen. That's a.
The albino.
How am I the albino queen when I'm not even like the ghost of the ghosties? Just kidding. I'm so sorry, Ree. That was really mean. I shouldn't have said that. I love you.
It's fine.
You're not the ghost.
You're talking about Ree.
Yeah, you automatically went and called her out. You're like.
Well, okay. Ree is our vampire. Sarah is our ghost. And
what, I'm the brown one?
Yeah.
So, nope.
And you're the beard. Done. Amazing. And again, congratulations to making it to episode 10. Woo! Today is the giveaway. I think now it's time. Everyone's been sitting at the edge of their seat. I know my mother is. She just texted me. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat. Okay, hold on, Mom. We'll give it to the announcer, Sarah. Sarah, take it away.
Okay, this is really exciting.
You have a drum roll? It is.
To database. I'm going to take a video for the social media, so give me a second, get my phone ready. And here we go. Drum roll, please. It's going to be Jacob_Randalls.
Jacob Randalls!
You win. Out of 114 entries. Thank you, everyone.
Holy moly.
114 entries into the giveaway, and Jacob_Randalls won.
And we're all jealous.
And we're
so jealous.
gonna kind of maybe look up where he lives and not rob him.
That's right. Yeah, let's not do that. But hey, the dice, again, so beautiful. Thank you, Axolotl Dice. My gosh, you make beautiful dice. I cannot even, if you haven't seen it, again, go to the Instagram, check it out, because they look gorgeous. And we're so excited that episode 10, we were able to give it away to Jacob Randall. Is that, did I say it right?
Jacob_Randall.
Randall.
Congratulations.
So much.
Yeah,
congratulations. And thank you so much to Axolotl Dice for donating your time, your talents, and your art to us. We appreciate you beyond words. Thank you.
100%. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I feel like we need a sound. You know, we really do need a soundboard. This is going to be something I'm going to be working on. I can push the button. Yay! Anyways, I hope you guys can all use the power of imagination that happened.
Absolutely. Everyone, when we get a Ko-fi, let's start donating to Tone to get him a soundboard.
Yes.
It's really hot underneath all these lights.
We will post the link.
Yes. No, just kidding. All right. Okay. I think it's ready. Are we ready? Are we ready to start this episode with a recap? Again, if you've joined us today and you recall that last episode, episode 9, episode 9, was a very special episode. It was a prequel, but this is a continuation of episode 8. Last time on Mortal Rolls, in the aftermath of Sabine's deadly encounter with the farmers, our heroes are left to reckon with the fallout. Sabine is haunted by a chilling vision of a beast condemning her deeds. Meanwhile, Eve receives guidance from her patron through a dead corpse. And both she and Morwen witness divine visions of each other. The mistress ominously reveals to Sabine that her time is running out, as the blessings bestowed upon her by her godly lover, Bane, are nearing to an end. And today's session, we start as you all packed up. You have began your journey through the caverns. As the mistress sort of reveals that there is hopefully a time schedule for them, for you all to keep, to meet up with Captain Flick. You feel like you've been traveling for about half a day. You're not quite sure what the time is, as you've been underground for so long and disoriented with the being in prison and being further underneath in the caverns. However, 6 hours have passed. You've been walking through the caverns, the deep, dark, dank caverns. As you're walking, of course, you see the light coming from the fungi down here. They give off illumination. What's the word? They give us light.
Bioluminescent.
Illumination.
Bioluminescent algae or glowworms.
6 hours have passed. You've been walking through the caverns, the deep, dark, dank caverns. As you're walking, of course, you see the light coming from the fungi down here. They give off illumination. What's the word? They give us light.
Bioluminescent.
Illumination.
Bioluminescent algae or glowworms. They could be
Like
little glowy worms.
Bioluminescent. Word of the day. And they're giving off just enough light so that it is the dim light condition. Johnny, walking with you. Farron, as well, seemed to have recovered from her wounds. However, she is severely disadvantaged with no armor and only the rags that she was found in the prison with. The mistress is now slower. You're noticing that she is less, well, she's aged quite a bit in this short time. And she's not, as you suspect, powerful and quick as she showed herself to be previous. Now, as you're making your way through, Johnny opened up and shared some information with you all. He said that a bunch of the farmers got rounded up, and this all started happening when the magistrates set out a new bylaw that increased the taxes on their fields. That and the purchase of much of the grain that was being produced by these Remorum farmers, Rim farmers, at low cost in order to ensure that the stores, that the vaults are full to be able to survive the oncoming famine, as they said. But Remorum has always produced in their fields, while rumors around Remorum have been that other cities, other villages, other towns have been suffering with drought. But yet, somehow, Remorum was always able to produce, even without the rain. So the farmers were angry. And they went to petition previous to this, previous to the riot. And they were ignored. So when the emotions were so high, and of course, being helped by the music of one Orin, they rioted. And all that were there rioting were taken. And Johnny expresses his deep, deep, deep sympathies for all those who have lost their lives over this. I'm just so scared to know what happened to my home, my lands. Something's just not right. And I want to thank you for saving me, for giving me the courage to fight. And he kind of reaches out towards you, Sabine. He just kind of touches your shoulder tenderly and just again, thank you. If you're kind, you were kind to me, and without it, I probably would have died there in that prison.
Probably.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Johnny. I am grateful that you are here, and I am sorry about your friends, but I am glad that you are alive and here.
Johnny looks at you again with his scarred face now. You know that his right eye is no more. But just kind of looking at you, all he can do is just nod and be thankful.
It's not covered, right? Like his face isn't covered. It's like still like just.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the kind of the dried blood on the side. And
he's gonna rip a part of her dress, like just like the bottom.
What for?
And I'm just gonna go over and just say, I don't want this to hurt you, but I'm going to just kind of cover your face so it doesn't hurt by the wind or dirt in your eye. Well, I guess there is no more eye there. But, you know, in the cut. So I'm going to just wrap this around your face.
Like, thank you so much. And he just helps you like hold it down to tie it, and now he has this eye patch from your dress. Again, Johnny is just absolutely thrilled. And he just kind of, out of everyone there, he seems to just kind of hang back around you, Sabine. It seems that he just kind of finds comfort just being near you.
She's going to whisper to him while she's doing it and just say, I need you to understand something though. You must not tell anyone about us, and I think you might need to leave your home because I do not think you are safe there anymore. I'm
And
sorry
he,
for that.
my wife, and my kids. Yeah. You mean I have to check to see if they're okay, though?
Absolutely. You can take them with you and go on an adventure if you like. I don't know if they will be safe there at your home. But if you ever find yourself in need or are running, you can always go to the forest out by the city, and I will find you there. I have lots of friends out there, and if any of them look strange or scary or are small and cuddly, just tell them that you know Sabine, and you'll be perfectly fine. And they might even lead you to my hovel, and you could hide there.
You can tell, like, your words are reaching him, but he's still struggling with it. You're going to have to give a roll to see how well your encouragement. Now, the fact that you have been so kind to him, you'll get a +2 to this, but to leave his lands, to leave his home, this is something that's tough. So go ahead and roll your diplomacy in order to make that request of him, to try and convince him.
Okay. +2.
Yep.
All right. Okay, don't do me dirty. Oh, okay, it wasn't terrible. That was an 11. That sounds about right.
Yeah. No, Johnny's just like, yeah, you're right. I want you to roll a perception check.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, you catch this. Sure. You're talking with Johnny, and Johnny sort of responding, kind of like going through the motions of nodding his head. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And your eye kind of glances over, and you can see the mistress watching you and watching him, as we're just kind of walking, not in obvious way, but you catch her seeing that she is watching you and Johnny.
I'll just smile at her with my head kind of cocked to the side.
She catches you now, realizing that you made eye contact with her, and she just kind of pulls over and walks. Any as you guys are making your way through, is there any other conversation that you wanted to have? As Sabine was talking with Johnny, and Johnny sort of opened up and gave out that information in order to pass the time.
there was a moment Eve might seek out Oren, talk to him.
Yeah. You can certainly make a moment. You can certainly, as you guys are walking through, some parts get narrow, and there's some times where you have to walk in a single file. So it really all depends if at one point you wait for a rest, and you can do like short rests a part of the way.
Yes.
Whatever way that you want to do that, for sure.
Yeah. I think she would at some point just kind of tap him on the shoulder. Or do you mind if I have a word for a moment?
Of course. What do you need?
I've been thinking about what you said the other day about fate, about us, all of us being destined in some way to do something together, that we were brought together by fate, and it sounded absolutely wild, but I'm starting to think that maybe you're right. Something strange happened with me and Morwen. We saw flashes of each other, of a sort of different versions of ourselves. Happened to both of us. It was very strange, and I just thought, sounds like it has to do with what you were talking about. It doesn't seem like the coincidence seems unlikely, and that's the first thing. Sorry, I'm rambling. What
You saw glimpses of each other. Like, what do you mean? Like in the future?
I don't know. It was like I looked at her and I saw someone else. It was her, but it wasn't her. It was hard to explain, but I knew it was her, and yet she looked different. Like she looked like a goddess, powerful. The demeanor changed for just a second, and then I know when she looked at me, she saw something too, something different. For a moment, it was just a moment, but we both experienced it at the same time, and that's got to mean something, doesn't it?
Yeah. How did that happen? Like, what did you do to see the goddess?
She was just giving me sort of an examination. I wasn't feeling well, and she looked in my eyes, and that was when it happened.
Oh.
But has anything like that happened to you?
I've never seen a goddess in someone else before, but there's been some weird things that have happened to me before, for sure. I hear a voice in my head sometimes, and it always happens when I receive a lash on my back, and I have a lot of scars on my back.
What do you mean?
I had Mormon help me bandage them up. It's what I use the goat salve for. I keep getting. How do I explain it? Basically, I hear a laughing voice in my head, and it call me boy, and then he laughs, and then I hear that, and then I feel this blinding pain, like a burning almost on my back, and then I realized that it was leaving scars on my back, big cuts, and then it takes a while for them to heal. And the goat salve is like the only thing that seems to do anything to help it stop hurting.
They just appear sort of. Is there anything that seems to trigger them, or just they happen at random?
Yeah, they seem to happen kind of at random. They happen more during the day, especially when it's really, really sunny outside. Also,
Like
yeah.
it's burning you.
It feels like it. Yeah.
I think I know what you mean.
You do?
Not exactly, but the feeling that what you described with the sun, I've had that happen to me, and I don't know if I have sort of these scars on my back too. I don't know if they've appeared randomly. Yours have, but there's something had them ever since I woke up.
I'm sorry. Do they hurt?
It's fine.
They still hurt?
Sometimes.
Can I maybe put some goat salve on it, and it helps mine?
People can think it'll help.
Yeah. Let me try. I'm just gonna, I guess, pull out some of his goat salve and take a little glove and just where is it?
She'll like turn around and lift off her hair and just like probably just like lower the back of her dress a little bit, so the scars are visible.
And he's like this.
It's just
a little bit.
I put on a show to make people like me and feel better around me, but I'm sorry, genuinely, that you're going through this. And he's just gonna take the salve and rub it on her back gently, as like soft and gently as he can.
You can roll a perception check as you are applying the goat salve to see what kind of scars you can make out. Now, it is a dim light, so there won't be a bonus. I'll give you a +1. That's it, because your hands are kind of feeling.
And the glow babies, of course. I 100% think that they are glowworms just because of the blue lights now on my wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 26.
Damn.
26. Yeah. You know what? You probably will adjust yourself to one of the mushrooms to kind of get a good look. And as you begin to apply, you notice that the scars. There are two that are parallel that just run like on the shoulder blades down. And it just kind of goes like down the shoulder blades and kind of stops like just of the length of the shoulder blades.
Do they seem at all similar to the scars that I have? Do they look kind of how mine would feel?
While it's healed over, it's not like it's an open wound like yours. Yours, while in the sun, will open up to the point that your shirt is now stained with blood. You feel the wounds open. You see that these ones are sort of healed over, but you know, as ever so often, I think you sort of flinch as you run your hand down, as if touching it just sends a jolt through her nervous system.
Once I put the salve on it, I'll just kind of grab the straps of her dress and kind of put it back up over top of her and just kind of hold her on the shoulder and say, I am sorry. You know, it looks similar to what I have. I'm genuinely sorry.
I'm sorry you've been experiencing that too. I don't. You don't have to be sorry for me. I thank you for being kind. I think what you said must be true in some way. I don't know how, but I want to find out. And I'm sorry that I perhaps misjudged you at first. Your bravado, truth be told, led me to jump to conclusions. And I've seen since then, traveling with you, the kindness that you've shown when no one is watching you. And thank you.
I've met a lot of people that act really nice, but aren't. And I understand why you would be hesitant to trust me, and that's okay. You can take your time in trusting me and sharing things with me that you're not comfortable. I'm okay with that. But I do want you to know that when you are ready and when you need help and when you need anything, I am here, and I'm here to help. And I just would like make sure he's facing her and like look her in the eye and just make sure that like it's a good eye contact and just say, it's a really hard world, and I have seen a lot of it, more than I would like, and I've met a lot of people, but there's a reason I put on a show, and there's a reason that I push the kindness and the care, because I've seen the darkness, and I don't want that to happen again. So, we're in this together, and I'll be here.
Thank you. Lauren. I'm not as good as you are with words, but I believe you, and I will be here as well if there's anything I can do. I don't know who to trust, but I do feel like I can trust the three of you for some reason. Thank you. And she'll like start to kind of turn around to leave, but then she'll turn back at the last minute. Just stop for a second and kind of like calculating in her brain and turn back. There were two scars, right?
Yeah.
More when she saw the flash, we saw those flashes. She said I had wings. I don't know if that's connected, but
You think
just
that this is where maybe you had those wings?
I think what we saw was past sort of life, perhaps something that we all woke up and none of us remembered anything.
I would love to see you with wings one day. And also, in terms of trust, just you just need to trust yourself. I think that you might doubt yourself a little too much, but you are very strong and kind of scary. And those are good things to be in this world. And it's okay. Just trust yourself.
I will try. Thank you, Warren. And she'll just kind of give like a nod. She's trying to be, she's just smiling, but kind of awkward about it, like trying to be friendlier, but it's not the easiest thing for her to do. It comes out naturally in moments, but then there are these moments when she almost realizes she's doing it and gets in her head about it. So yeah, but she'll ultimately just kind of give you like a pat on the shoulder. And then
Big gulp. Well, see you later.
she will be careful when she's patting on your shoulder to avoid your back, though.
Thank you.
It's a right in the sky. No. This is
Roll for
awkward.
damage.
Roll for damage. Oren can definitely make a nature check as Eve said that in the vision. She had wings, and you can certainly roll on that just to see if whether or not.
Nature's not that good.
That was pretty good.
Hey,
That's
rolling with style today.
Good job.
yeah. You can leave.
The curse broken?
FD-Foundry is doing great today.
FD-Foundry has not realized that you're rolling. They will correct. He's going to correct itself.
Yep.
I'll get a 1 at some point.
Recalculate. You can leave that conversation as she says that, and you're just kind of thinking in your head, and you realize that boss, yeah, those scars would reflect. Like wings, if wings were on a person.
Wonder if I had wings in the past life. They'd be cool wings, I bet.
Biggest wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, as you've had this conversation, of course, the mistress is sort of leading everyone on, and probably by that time, the party kind of has stood up again and started to move. How would you guys be walking through the cavern? I'm curious.
With
just in terms of, when you guys are in the single file, or when it gets narrowed, how do you sort of everyone else together?
We use our legs and our feet to walk forward.
And what position then? Sorry, what order would you guys be sort of?
Say that too.
Oh, unbelievable!
To me these questions, sorry. Sabina would probably be towards the back.
And you will probably be towards Sabine.
In the middle.
Leaving Morwen to the front.
Yeah, so.
I can't wait to see Joe.
Yeah, she's the one that wants to get the hell out of there.
By the mistress.
She's like the student that sits at the.
Make sure she's not doing anything sketchy.
Morgan's the student that sits at the front of the bus so she can sit right next to the teacher.
To the bus driver, absolutely.
Talk to the bus driver.
Definitely next to the bus driver, because she wants to give him like a treat.
Oh,
like fresh baked goods or something.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Not any other kind of treat. Morwen doesn't know what.
Okay, so Morwen, you're at the front. Your friends have left you by yourself as they hung in the back. I'm just kidding. Johnny hangs out in the back near Sabine. But you're up front and you see the mistress, and of course Farron is also kind of walking. I'll allow you to give a little perception roll as you're walking in the front, and perhaps let's see what you can see.
Perception, you say?
Allora, percezione.
Oh no, curse transferred.
You passed it along.
Just so you know, there's a critical fail sound. Thank you, Autumn Orange Lo-Fi, for contributing that beautiful noise. We have a critical success, and this, of course, is a critical fumble. When you roll a 1, you will hear that dong of doom. Now, you don't really kind of catch anything. Actually, you're kind of walking up front, and perhaps your thoughts are going around Joe and things like that, like you were kind of saying, but you don't really kind of catch anything.
Still trying to decipher what happened between her and Eve, and what even that was, and if it was real.
Yeah. And just for a moment, you think you caught something, and then just kind of lost in the moment. You guys continue trekking down into this cavern.
Would I be able to talk to Sexy Elf Girl? Just for a second?
Oh. The elf girl. Front.
Farron.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah. Farron seems to be just kind of walking with you guys, but not with you guys. Just sort of off on her own in a way close to you, but you can just kind of tell she's sort of separating yourselves. And maybe Sabine can't really tell that.
Yeah.
And
So
know that she's there.
we'll kind of just walk over to her and just say, look at this rock I found. There's a little bit of the glowing on it. Doesn't it look beautiful? It's the most beautiful rock I've ever seen.
Looks at the rock, and that's glowy worm guts.
I know.
On that.
Isn't it beautiful? Even the most smallest of creatures can create such brightness in our world. Lovely, really. How is your stomach doing, Aaron?
And as you say that, then she just sort of touches her stomach. It's been healing. You can kind of see that she sort of just kind of relaxes her shoulders just a little bit.
Well,
It's doing much better. Thank you.
Oh.
Um,
you're welcome.
I'm sorry. I just so distracted in this place. I don't like it here. There's too many ghosts.
I know. I've seen them. Spoken to them. Are your family here?
I don't know. We were separated a long time ago. And I can only suspect that maybe here or elsewhere. But there's a lot of death here. And you can go ahead and make a perception roll as she says that.
Do I get any, do I put any circumstance bonuses at all?
No, this one is going to be kind of
That's
a
totally
straight
fine.
roll.
I was just curious.
Wouldn't be a Sabine roll without trying to get a bonus.
Hey, I didn't even need one. Look at that, 27. But also,
I mean, a minus.
glowy worms on the rock. So,
That's right. You had it in your face, and you kind of saw like, oh.
literally, she's just like, look at this cool rock. Which, by the way, this is the rock that my daughter brought me home from school. But she said that exact same thing. It's cement. Still.
Is cement.
I love that. So cute. Yeah, with that roll and perhaps, going up close and kind of seeing and perhaps because she just sort of kind of calmed herself as you reminded her of your kindness, asking about her stomach and sort of letting down her guard just for a moment. You can see that as she kind of spoke about the death, she looks at the cavern wall and just pauses for a moment. And your eyes sort of catch within the wall and you think you see images of elven people. Just sort of glimmer away within the cavern. The walls themselves are quite shiny due to the just dark, being so underground. There's still moisture there, but there is something about this place that it sort of just shines, and it seems that as you kind of pay attention and see the different bones all buried underneath this floor and this cavern is just full of them. You see them as if they're preserved. And ever so often you can just see that she was just lost in a thought as these images sort of whisk their way through the walls.
Do I sense any evil little when she sees them?
Ooh, you can roll a... Let's see here. I'll let you roll a...
She has like her planar rift lore kind of thing. I don't know if that applies.
that's what... Yeah, that lore would be perfect. Go ahead and roll that.
Oh, God. This is the first roll for this one, guys. This is part of her background called Empty Whispers.
And if she fails this, it would be hilarious.
Sad.
Very empty whispers.
13.
A 13.
We're doing it on a 10.
Yeah. There's something about this place that as you noticed the way that Farron is being affected, and the way that you saw the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it. And you do feel a sort of uneasiness kind of begin to fill in your heart. And at times you can even feel the hairs in the back of your neck just sort of stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And as if something is just kind of passing through. But in terms of trying to kind of hear or connecting, you're not able to, but you do get the sense that this place is full of death. And you begin to sort of have that empathy. Like you can almost understand what Farron is explaining.
Sabine will just kind of just not really thinking about it, but just kind of rub the little bumpies on her arms and just kind of say, I'm sorry that you were forced to come back here and that to leave a place that was so horrible to you was through the graves of your people. I not imagine such a horrific thing, and I am sorry for you, Farron. If you need help to find your family at all, you can join us. I am also looking for my family as well, but we can look for yours if you would like.
She pauses as you say that, and she looks right into your eyes, and you see just solid black of her elven eyes. You don't make out any pupils, you don't make out anything. All you see is just this solid blackness. You can see your reflection a little bit as the bioluminescence from the stone is probably still up.
Sabine will get closer just to look at her reflection in it because she thinks it's so cool and has no sense of boundaries whatsoever. She's like, ooh. Hey, Farron doll, can you look at me? I need to fix my lipstick. Thanks.
Fix your mascara.
Yeah.
Farron, as you get closer, she just sort of she just sort of smacks up a little.
She'll just say, your
Just made this
eyes.
situation awkward.
Your eyes are so beautiful. Has anyone told you that? And she just looks crazy.
she sort of laughs at that and kind of steps back a little bit, and you know that she was trying to say something earlier back as we're sitting back at the camp. You know that you can certainly try and roll a diplomacy just to see if she'll talk a little bit more. And this roll, you can certainly have a +2, just because
I made her laugh.
you're able to connect and talk about and got her talking.
Are you kidding me? I'm using my hero point. No.
She stabs you.
Nope. I'm using my hero point for that. That is garbage.
The hero point. We're doing a reroll, everybody.
Doing a reroll. That was crappy, and I want to know.
We're moving away from the main timeline.
Okay. All right. Work with me, baby. You got
Okay.
this. You're
I'm
beautiful.
looking over here because I'm looking at the FD-Foundry.
Okay. It was a 10. I was on a 17, but then it tricked me and rolled on the 10, but that's okay.
And you can you're saying the words and she's sort of delaying a little bit, and at that moment, she's about maybe was about to say something, but then the mistress up ahead kind of calls out and says, "Everyone, we've come to a crossroads."
Sabine will just loop her arm in with Faerun's arm and just kind of rub it on her arm to kind of get her away from the chill too.
Nice. And Faerun, just sort of hesitates a little bit, but
Sabine doesn't even notice her hesitation. She's just like, okay. Oblivious.
She allows you to put your arm around her. The mistress, is calling up at the front and says, "Everyone, please come quickly. We've come to a crossroads."
Okay.
And
do you not know which way to go?
There's something odd about this. There was only supposed to be. I fear the map that I was given is perhaps outdated. I don't know, but there's 3 places to go. And you're looking at this as you get to what she's seeing, and you can see that there are 3 ways to go within this cavern.
Faerun, do you possibly know which direction we should take?
Faerun kind of looks and says, maybe I will, let me just take a look. And she kind of goes and she'll do some tracking. Maybe she can see something.
While she's doing that, can I roll for a scent of smell to see if I can smell
Sure.
a fresher path? Use some sort of tracking thing?
Yeah, absolutely. And Chomsky is coming, is near you guys as well.
Baby.
Also, can I just sniff each of the things and see if I smell anything out of each pathway?
Are you going up beside Sabine to smell too?
Yeah, because when in doubt, follow your nose.
Smell and -4.
And Eve would be looking for if there were any carvings or any markings along the caverns.
All right.
I think Morwen would assist that.
nature or
Survival?
survival?
It depends on if you're doing a smell, it'll be a perception roll. You're gonna percept with your nose.
Wow. Well, that was a 22.
You know what? Farron would have spilt the beans with that roll.
Oh, I know. You know what? That's fine. That's okay.
It'll be fine. Okay, so perception roll with the 22. Great. Let's see who else rolls.
15
Oren with a
minus 4.
what? A survival as you're looking for smells, or were you doing a smell roll, or were you looking at the ground?
I was doing a smell.
Like right beside the bean.
Okay. Right beside.
Because I've learned
Sabine.
in my past that when in doubt, you follow your nose.
Mm-hmm.
You have to roll a perception roll. Survival.
Oh, darn it.
Survival. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a good thing because I
you could
way better.
pretend to sniff, but really you're looking at tracks. Well, I don't think you. Oh yeah, never mind.
Hey, much better.
Woo, with the -4 penalty too. 21. 22 perception for Sabine.
My nose is better.
Farron's looking at the ground. She rolled a 16. Now Eve was going to be doing something as well. What did Eve do?
I'd just like to check for any markings or anything like that. Anything that might be marked or carved into the walls. If she's saying that these might be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can absolutely do that. Let's see. Why don't you do well, you can either do a survival if you're looking at the rocks. You can also do a nature, or you can just do a perception. Either one. And either roll will give you kind of different information.
If I was assisting, would she get a bonus or?
Yeah, if you allow Morin to help you, you can get a +2 to the roll.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So you said either perception, nature, or
Or
they're all the same bonus for me. So, guess we'll just do perception and +2.
yeah, with Morin's help. Okay, it's a 16. And that is aligned with Farron. Okay. All right. So this is what happens. So Farron begins to kind of look to the ground. And again, she's just trying to see perhaps if there's kind of been a road that's been used more. Eve and Morwen, you sort of begin to take a look at the walls as well. And all three of you come to the same conclusion that two of these cavern ways look almost as if they've been mined. And you begin to see the scarring on the walls, and even where Farron's kind of pointing out, and you can certainly see kind of pits within the road, which seems a little bit unnatural to the rest of the cavern that you've been walking in. So it seems that two of these ways have been man-made, so to speak. That said, the other way is the natural way. Now, the smell, oddly enough, Sabine, you pick up on a scent. And Oren thinks that he's also picked it up, but he's not necessarily very, very perceptive with his nose as you are. but there was a very distinct smell coming from one of the cavern ways. And it's like a sweet, there's a sweetness to it. And it just seems to be coming down, there's the three ways. It's the way that's leading off to the right. Down kind of a dark kind of corridor with the fungi there, the bioluminescent, lights, the glowworms are there too. Sort of kind of glowing so that there's still some light, but it sort of goes down kind of a longer path. The other way that you smell is the shorter path, the one in the middle. And you pick up a smell of soil, like dirt. It's a very earthy smell. And the way forward, the natural way, you get the smell of maybe smoke. You're not quite sure. It could be mixed in with a couple of different smells, but the three paths have different smells that you are picking up on.
Was the path that was originally said that wasn't the mind one?
Yeah, the natural path, that's the one that has a smell of smoke.
Oh.
Slight smell.
All right. Which way do you guys feel is the way to go?
We're looking for the oldest path. This one down the middle seems to be the original one. These two seem more recent. Mines, perhaps. And Eve will kind of look at the mistress.
And the mistress is like, just sort of, just looks like she's been walking for a while and looks tired. Like, what? I honestly can't think right now. I just need to sit down just for a moment. I'm sorry.
Sabine will go right over to her.
I think Morwen
and try to hold her up.
And she takes your arm. Morwen
would assist her.
as well.
Help her.
So Sabine will just say, are you alright? Is the sand?
And while you both grab her to help her, she's like, no, I feel old, but I'm certainly still able to take care of myself. And then she just sort of stops and, I'm sorry. And you can see that she just her hand just goes over top of her forearm. I'm sorry. I just sit here by this rock. Let me just sit for just a minute, please. And she goes and sits down.
And she would say, you may be capable of doing it without help, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't accept help when it's offered. If it makes your life easier.
She's sort of smiles and looks at you, Morwen, and then eyes and looks at Sabine and to think just almost a day ago that it seemed that you hated me, and yet your words of kindness. And she just sort of laughs a little bit to herself.
I still don't like you very much, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve help.
Morwen, that isn't very nice.
What's not nice? I was being honest, I was telling her the truth, and I was telling her that she still deserved help. Don't you think it's fair not to lie to someone, whether you like them or not?
Eve has taught me that lying is bad, but I also have been taught that sometimes it's better to not open your mouth. Right, Eve?
I found that to be the case. Yes, but that is sort of a matter of one's own discretion. Some of these things are. You can only teach so much. Other parts of it you just have to learn, I suppose.
My point is, even if you don't necessarily like someone, it's still okay to help them when they need help. Everybody deserves help, and everybody deserves a second chance. That's all.
Right. But Morwen was right, mistress, that you can accept help. So if you would like to be carried, perhaps Oren could carry you.
No.
We could just wait for a few moments and let you catch your breath.
Yes. Enough fussing over me, and yes, Morwen. Yes, Morwen, right. And for the love of the gods, please call me 𝐲𝐵. Enough of this mistress. That was just a name that the guards gave, or I did not give my first name. But I feel that we've been through quite a bit. That at least you can call me by my first name.
It is quite a bad name.
𝐲𝐵.
I have a question. Would 𝐲𝐵 have told the rest of us, or would 𝐲𝐵 have told the rest of us what 𝐲𝐵 revealed to her?
In that conversation, she would have said to keep it secret. Okay. And so it'd be up to Sabine whether or not she would have kept it secret.
Eve has taught me to keep my mouth shut.
I think in this moment, Morwen would offer 𝐲𝐵 some water and maybe a snack, a granola bar from her bag.
As you hand out, you get the water and you have a snack, and she looks and smiles and says, "Oh, thank you." As she reaches for it, you can roll a perception roll as to see if you can see anything as she kind of reaches with her right arm.
Do I get any bonuses?
No, just because you're not really expecting it.
Ooh, 25.
And yeah, with that 25, you actually see as she reaches and grabs it that she has a tattoo. And for a moment, you think that this tattoo with the shape of an hourglass is moving. And then as she grabs it, she pulls it, and then her sleeve sort of drops again, and she accepts your snack and begins to eat and drink.
I think at that point, Morwen would kind of adjust her sleeve a little bit and say, "That's an interesting tattoo."
Yes, it is.
Sabine will just have the biggest worried look on her face and just be standing there.
Get it.
And she sort of just kind of sits there, and she can go ahead and diplomacy with, you'll roll it with a -4 just because you have a mutual not like each other.
I mean, I'm trying. -4. Okay. $15?
Yeah, so she sort of kind of goes into, I received it when I was a young girl. I was a young woman when I received it, and it's just been with me ever since. I honestly don't know how I got it.
Neither do I.
To that, there are a few things that I can't remember how it happened, but they obviously did.
Maybe after we get out of these caverns, then we have a better place to talk. But which I'm feeling much better now. Thank you. And she hands you back the water skin, and she kind of stands up, and she says, it is curious that there are 3 paths here. It is very curious, but which way should we go?
We're looking for the original tunnel. It's the one in the center.
It
You believe that's
smells like smoke, like
You can smell smoke.
It does smell a little smoky. I noticed that too.
Well, there's smoke. There's usually fire.
Job, Oren.
Is interesting. What of the other paths?
well, the one this way smells like this, and she would say exactly what it smelled like because she has a better memory than I do. And then on this path, it smells like this, and then she would say it perfectly because she has a better memory than I do. And then
One smelled sweet.
oh right, one smells very like treats, like sweet treats. And then the other one, oh right, I remember. Smells very earthy. Earthy.
Like dirt.
Possibly, maybe.
That's very curious. Yes. It's curious because the sweet smell from everything that we've experienced here, it possibly is an indication of something
Evil.
that's not commonly found in these caverns, don't you think? She just kind of, and the earthy smell.
It is very.
When was the last time you saw dirt in this place? And if they were mining,
It is
perhaps they were mining.
that is all over.
Yeah.
I find it scary that it smells sweet when there is so much death and decay around us.
Why would they be mining down?
Sabine would kind of look at Baron.
Baron would.
He'll be like, what?
Yeah, she's gonna roll a roll. And she's gonna say, there are rumors that underneath Rumorum, not only is it the caverns of death in which we're walking, but that there have been rumors that there is gold or precious materials in the stone, and I can only imagine perhaps that's why. But no one comes down here. You've seen how dangerous it is, and so only the brave or foolish will try and make a fortune down here.
Why dig two tunnels side by side, so close together, with another tunnel in the middle? It is curious.
Yes, I'm no miner. I'm sorry, I don't know how these things work. But
I have a spell that I would like to try.
sure.
That is called object reading.
Okay.
You place your hand on an object and learn a piece of information about an emotional event that occurred involving the object within the past week, determined by the GM. If you cast it on the same item multiple times, you can either concentrate on a single event to gain additional pieces of information, or you can gain a piece of information about a different emotional event applicable in the same time frame. And I'm going to
do that. I cast guidance on you.
for sure.
As
Need to touch
Morgan begins to see Eve sort of preparing to do something and give some comfort, give some guidance.
I'm just going to heighten it to cast it at a second level, basically, and that will allow it to extend to events that occurred within the last month.
Oh, okay, yeah. Awesome.
I'm just trying to cast it, but I can't figure out what to do because it's from a feat, not from a.
Okay. If it may not, this the thing that I'm casting, it's not like a roll, like it just happens.
This happens. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like I have to roll anything for it.
Well,
Morwen is going to give.
Thank you.
And
once I figure out how to do it.
And you cast it at second level, which gives you a couple months within the last month.
Yeah.
Last month. Okay. And let's see here. You have to place a hand on an object and learn a piece of information. Well, what object do you find? What are you looking for?
I would be looking for. I would be placing it on like the wall of the cavern that led to where it smells sweet.
Oh, where it smells sweet.
Yeah.
You walk in. I imagine that in the cavern, would you walk in the cavern to place your hand? Would you be where you're at just to kind of place your hand?
I would walk in a tiny bit, like a step or two in.
Yeah, as you go in a tiny bit, as you walk in, you notice that there is like these sort of divots, and this is kind of what Baron and pointed out. And so you kind of place your hand on it. You're not necessarily picking up anything from this object reading, but I will let you roll an Arcana.
Okay.
Just to see.
Do I have guidance yet? Because now I'm.
Hi guys.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you.
Guidance is not like D&D.
I did it! You can now drag the spell effect onto your token, and then it'll be like in your roll thingy, and you can choose
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Cool.
And roll an Arcana as you begin to you're testing, and what you're getting from this is like this is much older. It's not within the last month. That's what you get from this. And then as you place your hand and you're getting this feeling like, no. I can't, you can't pick up what happened within the last month. But you're getting the sense that there is something down this cavern that is giving this, and now you're beginning to smell the sweet smell, and that sweet smell is coming from something that is not natural.
Okay.
It is coming from something that is ultimately of the arcane, and that's why the Arcana you were able to kind of sense it.
Okay. She'll turn back to the group and say something about this sweet smell. Like it's not natural. There's something
Evil.
Did it feel evil?
Evil? No. You didn't get the like it's not something evil, like an evil presence or you allure you. You're just getting the fact that what you're smelling is something that is
Like
ultimately has the
magic
tendencies to it, right? There's
Yeah.
something about that is calling to your arcaneness.
Yes.
Arcanity.
Not necessarily evil, just not of the natural world. Something more arcane, magical, perhaps. Could be worth investigating.
She said magic. Could I do my planar rift lore to sense anything down here with it?
Okay. What are you doing? Your ritual of?
Just to roll on to check to see if I can sense anything going on here. If there's spirits
Yes.
whispering to her about what is down there, or anything of that sort.
Okay. Yes. This is you're talking about your background. And is it just a sense, or can you please explain again?
It's the planar rift one. It's all the lore, basically, which is like...
Sure. Yes. Do that one.
Yeah.
Because that actually...
Whoa, 25!
Holy moly! Well, you talked about a little planar rift action. There is something down the path that Eve was walking, that was trying to sense, and you are getting a strong pull that something that is not from this realm is down there.
Does it feel... Does she feel like she needs to go? Or does it feel... She's all about
There's
feeling...
something inside you, not Sabine.
Okay.
Something inside you that feels familiar. You just don't know why.
She starts walking.
Speed. I think we should maybe agree as a group in which direction we go, but that's okay. We can go that way.
She's silent. She feels a pull there. Something
And she
familiar. She goes,
disappears into the darkness of this cavern, where she felt through her arcane powers something from a different realm calling to her, not to her as Sabine, but to her someone else, someone deep inside her. I heard that. Now,
I heard it too.
now this is what's going to happen. You can see that we're on a new map, and I'm just going to move Sabine over to this area, and then I'm going to show what she sees. As you go down this cavern, it is quite dark, but then you see the luminescence of the fungi and the glowworms on the walls. And you come across a scene where you see, again, stones that have collapsed, skeletons underneath. You see what catches your attention right away is the bucket thing. What is the wheelbarrow? Sorry, just totally blank. The wheelbarrow down there.
Yep.
And of course, something else. Go ahead, Sabine. Roll a perception roll just to see what you can kind of pick up. Okay, a 16. You get a good glimpse, and you're taking it all in. You get the sense that there are skeletons here. They're old. You know that this is not a fresh scenario. I mean, they're down to their bones. You see that in the wheelbarrow there are clumps, what looks to be, I don't know if Sabine would know what gold is, but they're shiny yellow rocks.
Would you think that her guardian perhaps would have taught her about it?
Perhaps. So you're able to know that these are clumps of this.
Oh, if anything, Eve would have taught her because money.
It looks
maybe
it looks valuable.
it looks different in rock form. Anyways, yes, continue on. Sorry.
You see a stone as well, with this sort of gold lining as well within the stone near the scene. But what calls to you is this flower that is growing atop of the chest of one of these fallen victims.
Yes.
And you also see that the flower is growing from this person's heart,
That'd be familiar.
which is still there.
Right. She would bend down to look at the skeletons and just kind of look at them and just say, what happened to you? And she would use the read psychometric resonance. Yep.
This is great. Okay, so reads or resonate.
Yeah, but
Renaissance. With a touch. Is this what you're doing?
Yes. So basically I can read psychic impressions left on objects by the previous owners. In that time I move half my travel speed or slower while looking for it. I must brush my bare hands over any objects which I'll be touching the flower. So it could...
Yeah. You'll touch the flower?
Yeah. And it will basically says that it'll have the it'll show the emotions, I guess, from it.
Okay. This is what you sense. You're having like a vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's almost as if you're seeing a moving picture where you can see like the outlines of these miners. And it's almost as if you're standing there with them, watching this, as all of a sudden, as these miners were and they're kind of moving in a slow, kind of ghostly way. So they're not moving in the regular speed. They've slowed down. You're getting the sense that this happened 9 months ago, in around that time period.
Interesting.
Because suddenly there was a crash. And in fact, it seemed as if the floor itself sort of cracked, rumbling as they fell down, and the stones fell atop of them due to this crash. And down from below this crack, a seed popped up, guided into the person's mouth, down his throat, into his heart. It began to grow. And this seed feels familiar. Not the flower, but the place it came from. As netherworld stress. These words just kind of echo inside your mind. And you can see that in time, as the time began to elapse, all the maggots went in and it began to eat away rats or whatever, leeches. Eventually, they were nothing but bone, except this heart, perfectly preserved with the flower growing out of it. And you're back.
Beautiful. She would crack her hand inside the rib cage and try to pull the heart gently to not hurt the flower, and see if she could try to gently have it come up.
Yeah, absolutely. You can either roll survival or you can roll a crafting. Either way, as you try to preserve this flower.
19.
That is enough. As you're able to reach in and peel back even more. And they break, and a bit of dust just begins to kind of fly, as all of a sudden you see just this heart and this flower for the taking. And the heart itself feels like solid stone, but it just, you can feel every detail of a human heart in your hand.
Beautiful.
With this flower just sort of growing just right out of it. The flower itself is beautiful, but not in a common way. There's something about it that also has the sense of it's not of this place, and it kind of gives a kind of get the sense that if it's mishandled, it would not be a good thing. It's kind of just this innate instinct inside you.
What color are the petals?
Crimson pomegranate color.
Interesting. Right. She will gently hold it and stand up and just say, "You're going to come home with me now. And I think that Eve will quite love you. She's long wanted a flower of her own to take care of, and I think you are the perfect one."
And take it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And out of the darkness, if you all just sort of stood and waited, Sabine would have come out holding this flower in her hand. Morrowind, as you see this flower, you would need roll an Arcana.
Hannah?
Yeah. You can roll an Arcana, or you can roll an Occultism. Either one of those rolls.
Modified 20?
A modified 20. A dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
You see her come out, and this flower feels so familiar to you, but you don't know what this is. But there is something about what she is holding
And
that, again, sort of speaks to your inner self.
can I go up and touch it?
No.
Sabine slashes your face.
No.
I think Morrowind would say,
No.
can I just...
No.
It feels very familiar to me.
It does to me too. But if you touch it, it will die. You can look at it.
Okay.
You can hold it. Maybe if you are gentle, but don't touch the flower.
You said if you touch it, it will die. How do you know that?
I don't know. It's just a feeling. You know?
Morrowind would hold her hands out. Because she said I could hold it.
Sabine, do you place it in her hands?
Very carefully, she will hold it and put it in her hands and just say, it grew out of a man's heart, and I pulled it from his skeleton.
And Morrowind would kind of hold it up and inspect it at all angles that she could. And she would say, that is fascinating.
Be very careful though, Morwen. It has not been moved.
She's being very delicate with it. Very delicate.
Roll a perception. Morrowind.
Any bonuses?
No. No bonuses.
Oh, 24.
It seems like it was meant to be.
Yes.
As all of a sudden, as you're holding it, the flower begins to kind of fold its petals up back into a bulb and begin to curve itself back into this heart. the heart begins to beat in your hands.
I think she would give it back to Sabine. I'm so sorry.
Sabine, do you toss it to her, or
I would place it gently back in her hands and say, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I did. I just looked at it, I promise.
What is it doing?
it's beating in your hands?
Was the heart stone before?
It was.
You made it come back alive.
Well, I didn't kill it.
And it just beats in your hands.
Sounds like a good thing. I think you
don't
fixed
know
it.
if this is good or bad. This is scary.
Well, it went from stone to beating, so like maybe do it again.
You
Eve,
should touch it again?
no. She's going to turn to Eve. Eve, I know that you've been wanting a flower, your own flower, to grow and take care of and nurture it, and it's a little different because it grew out of a dead man's heart. But I think it could be loved and cared for if you want him. I quite like him.
You took this for me.
I think I took it.
Thoughtful, Sabine.
I think I
Thank
took
you.
it for all of us, but I thought you would find it the most special.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Sabine.
Do you hand it to her, like, to hold?
Mm-hmm. Yes, but before she hands the heart that was stone, but now is beating, she's going to say, if it changes in your hand or something, it is not your fault. It is just very delicate and temperamental, kind of like me.
You're perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
And she'll take it very, very carefully.
Sabine won't really give eye contact to you. She'll just kind of be like,
Eve, you get this heart in your hands. It feels like I want you to roll a society roll.
Okay. When you roll it, have to roll society because you're holding a beating heart. That's an interesting. I don't know what that says. But
Yeah. You're
320.
nice.
bringing back knowledge to your mind, and you begin to have images of sitting around the dinner table and Trick presenting a platter of food. And in particular, you recall the feeling and seeing something that looked like this, that he called it the goose's gizzard, the goose heart. And you're just holding it and you're like, it's the same. The goose heart and this heart is the same size. And it feels just like a raw beating heart. You can feel the trickle of the juices in your hands as you're holding it. And it's just beating.
I think she kind of 1,000-yard stare for a sec.
Do you not like it?
No, the flower is beautiful. It's not that. I just remembered something.
What did you remember?
You said that this came from a human heart.
I sat down in the cave and came upon two skeletons that had gotten caught in a little bit of a tumble with some rocks, and they died a horrible death. But in one of the deaths, a seed fell in the mouth of one of them, and the seed grew, and it grew and attached itself into its heart, and then out came the flower when it was a skeleton, and I thought it was quite beautiful.
Is any of this ringing any bells for Eve? She's like racking her brain. Okay.
The thought, the memory is ultimately
Powering everything else.
powering anything else. You could attempt a roll, but it'll be with a massive penalty.
Okay.
Frick.
Listening to that, does that spark anything with Morwen?
Morwen, you seem the most like with the scene for as you held it, and while it did its thing, and with your perception roll, you seem to be. You would not feel the same way as Eve. You would almost kind of feel like there's a familiarity with this sort of. You just can't place your finger on it. You can attempt a roll, an occultism. You can attempt a to see, but right now Farron is dry heaving over off to the side. That Eve is holding a heart that's beating in her hands, and whatever little thing is in her stomach, she's just like
Yeah.
because it's literally a human heart that is beating on its own.
Morwen doesn't care. She is trying to figure out this puzzle. Because she touched something that was stone and now it's alive. What the heck?
Yeah. Wow, my power went out, everybody. So
Is everything okay?
I'm using the old 5G network. And we'll see. Okay, so basically last we left off, Morwen rolled a 23. So Morwen, what you get from this heart, what you get from this is that there is something that again you also kind of get the words Tartarus and Netherworld in your head. You get the sense that this is something from beyond this plane of existence that you're on. That this is, but how did it get here? Why did it get here? But there is something that is just familiar about this scenario, this flower beating in a heart. That is what you get.
Okay. Tartarus. She would say that out loud. She would say, Tartarus. Interesting. She's kind of thinking out loud right now. She's trying to figure out this puzzle, so she's kind of muttering to herself. But she would definitely have said, Tartarus, that is fascinating.
Tartarus.
What? You said Tartarus?
Tartarus.
Yes.
Oh.
It feels like Tartarus.
So, that's the underworld, right?
Yes.
What is the underworld, Eve?
That's a place where you go when you die, and It's not a good place.
It's also not a bad place.
But we go there when we die.
Yeah.
That's where souls go.
But it's not good. So we don't want to die, right?
I don't know if anybody wants to die.
I guess that is
Go
true.
to the underworld. There are different parts. Tartarus is a prison.
Prison for souls.
Seems fitting that we should find it here, then.
I bet there are a lot of chipmunks in Tartarus.
What's a chipmunk?
It's one of those, the sculptures, the dead chipmunks with the swords.
Oh.
That's
You don't ever want to meet a chipmunk.
I
They're
will take your word
evil.
for it, because I have never met one.
The 𝑘𝐤𝐲𝙗 have been fighting them for centuries in the forest. They've sent probably a lot of their souls to Tartarus.
Question.
Yeah.
What's the chance that Eve would know anything about Tartarus or the underworld?
There's, I think, in the mention of it, and as you guys are talking about it, there is a familiarity to it.
Okay. But I wouldn't. Oh, go on.
Yeah. So you just the mention of the word, it would be something that a knowledge that you would have, whether or not you heard of it. It's just like the word sounds familiar. It feels familiar. It's not necessarily a recollection of knowledge. It's more of a general inside yourself. You feel a connection to this word.
Okay. But I probably wouldn't have learned much about that, right?
You'd have to, yeah.
Okay.
No, of it
The
is
mistress.
the stories that I've heard, right? Of there's been times when people have gone down to Tartarus to try and save their loved ones. There's times when some of the gods and demigods have been sent there in banishment or tried to escape. It's kind of scary, but also kind of beautiful, because a lot of people have made their stories by traveling there. So interesting that this flower is from there.
Oh,
Very.
terrifying.
Morwen, as you're holding this flower, as all you guys are kind of talking about this together, the four of you together talking about this place, holding this heart, you feel home. There's a feeling of home with this conversation. And as you're holding this beating heart in your hand, you feel that this is something that that vision that you had, that feeling like this is a clue. And that's when you hear the mistress scream down the cavern, the natural way. And we're going to end our session here because the power is not returning.
She went down that cave by herself?
She walked down that cave because
What a dingus.
Why did she? That's what we're going to find out next week, everybody. What happens? Why is my holding a heart? Why does it feel like home? And why is my hand doing like this? That's pretty good effect.
I don't know, but I'm really excited.
Congratulations to the winner of the
No. Oh yeah, we had a dice giveaway, guys. We gave away 4 chunky dice. We partnered with 𝐼𝐡𝐞 on Instagram. She's amazing. Literally go and follow her. She makes the most gorgeous dice. We are definitely going to be partnering with her in the future. Yeah, it was amazing. It was so dope. And the next giveaway, we're probably going to give away some merch.
Also, follow us. We appreciate everyone showing up from a couple different raids, so we really appreciate that. Follow us, turn on your notifications. Also, follow the link to our YouTube channel where we have all of our previous 9 episodes up with a little bit of fresh 𝐲𝐶 spice in there to make it a little bit more fun.
Definitely and get some points. You're welcome.
Follow and subscribe.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as always, we hope that you live your best selves in your mortal roles. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.